Thank you, Dr. Roop. At the onset, I would like to thank Dr. Roop for this opportunity and for having thought of such a wonderful symposium, which is also a very important topic which needs to be discussed in main forum. Because all of us, I'm sure, as cataract surgeons are facing this particular problem day in and out. And many of us are just ignoring it or telling the patient to ignore it and not really coming to a conclusion about the actual treatment option, which is now available with your efforts as well as your so much of thinking and into that problem to find a solution. I would also like to thank Prakhyat for helping me out with the presentation. So managing negative dysphotopsia decisively is very important because it impacts patients'
This
moral.
patient presented
And
to
as
her
you can
surgeon
see
on
here,
postoperative day 1, angry and annoyed. She had been experiencing negative dysphotopsia symptoms and was not at all convinced by the counseling offered by her surgeon. Here, she's being interviewed after successful management of negative dysphotopsia.
तो अगर मैं आपको ये कहता कि ये तो ऐसी चीजें इसका इलाज नहीं है तो आपको क्या लगता?
आपको तो सर गुस्सा पहले तो आप आया मेरे को फायदा ना हो बेकार ना इस तरह की
ठीक है तो फिर हमने दूसरी आंख भी आपका हो गया था
हां जी
उसका भी ऑपरेशन होना था अगर हम कहते हैं कि भाई दूसरी आंख में भी ऐसे ही होगा तो आप बनवा देंगे दूसरी आंख
नहीं सर कर लगा मैं तो आपसे बोल रहा था कि सर ऐसी मजाक इस आंख की समझ
so nothing shatters a patient's confidence in their surgeon more than their inability to correct something they caused. So if somebody comes to you for a solution of something and ends up with another problem, they are going to lose confidence in you, and that's not something that we want for our patients. But there is hope of light at the end of the tunnel, which can re-establish the patient surgeon's confidence. Lack of a reliable solution can make a person jittery of committing to treatment. So we ourselves have found that if a person comes with always a complaint, never happy, after doing a fantastic and a proper cataract surgery, then you also tend to feel like ignoring that patient, and you also are not happy about the outcome. And you know that you could not have done it in any better way than what you did. And yet the person ends up being unhappy. This is not good for your morale as well as for your patients. And patients then go around telling other patients that this is not a good surgery. They don't normally also go for the second eye that easily. I remember a patient who kept saying that my lids are sticking on the sides and till this gets solved, I'm not going to do the other eye surgery. We stalled for almost 6 months, 1 year. We tried all these options. So we tried the Nd:YAG cap of the nasal rhexis. Didn't work in this particular patient, but she thought that we tried something, and then ultimately I think she just allowed us to make her believe that this is something that she's imagining, and over a period of time got tired of really complaining and then got around to accepting the situation, which is not something that you want as an end. You want the patient to be truly happy and not just convince them to be happy about whatever outcome they get. So as has been already discussed, there are a number of things that have been tried as solution, including Nd:YAG caps, the capsulotomy of the nasal rhexis. And as you know, it is not effective in most cases. Reverse optic capture is not a very easy thing to convince a person because you are not sure whether it's always going to give you a good outcome. And you also need to be a very good surgeon. Your initial capsulorhexis has to be perfect. Anti-dysphotopic IOL is again not a very practical option, because then you are stuck to only a type of IOL, which is again may not be your patient's choice. And you would need a femtosecond laser, which is again not possible in our scenario to be able to do it in all cases. And piggyback secondary IOL again is not easy to perform. There may not be enough space. It can also have its own set of complications. And so all these solutions which have been proposed and tried are not really a great solution to offer to your patient. But for want of anything better, we have been selecting one or the other options, and ultimately otherwise just trying to tell the patient to live with whatever has happened. And this lack of commitment from surgeon leaves the patient feeling abandoned. They feel that they came with a problem, you tried to give them a solution, you've painted a rosy picture, but you could not deliver. And therefore, you need a definitive management strategy. So first of all, you should counsel and inform about the treatment options. The second thing to do is offer them efficacious treatment, which is possible today. Then it's very easy for them to be persuaded for the treatment if you're going to be sure of the outcome of the treatment. What happens with all the other modality of treatment is that you yourself is not so sure whether that's going to work. And that comes across in verbal, non-verbal ways. And so a patient to undergo another procedure in a scenario where they're already mistrusting you is not going to be easy. It's also going to be more expensive for you because you're going to do another procedure which may or may not work. So if you have a definitive modality which is surely going to work, then it is something that's the solution. You can counsel them by answering the most commonly asked questions that negative dysphotopsia is not going to diminish vision, that it is not progressive. In most cases, you do stop noticing it as the time passes, but treatment is available if you opt for it. And initially, you may try with non-invasive options so that the patient knows that you are trying something. But if everything else fails and if the patient still remains uncomfortable and unhappy, then definitive, efficacious, and safe treatment and prevention options are available, which have been so nicely described by Dr. Roop in the previous talk. And it's all the efforts of so many people together that actually gives answers to the questions that patients have to pose. So let us observe your symptoms for resolution in due course of time is what you can counsel. And you can also then put in a caveat saying that I have a definitive treatment you can choose to undergo anytime. And that can really put the confidence level back in the patient's mind. As you can see here.
सांस भी लगी रहेगी लेकिन ऐसा बंद नहीं करती ऐसा बंद नहीं करती
अब आपको उसके बाद से वो ठीक है लेकिन ये वो ऊपर जाएगा आपको ऐसा नहीं होगा आज हो गई हम लगा उसमें आपको क्या महसूस होता था जो आप मुझे बता रहे थे
इस साइड में यहाँ पे धागा सा धागा या कोई लाइनिंग से
अच्छा महसूस होता
हाँ बस ऐसा लगता था कि यहाँ पता नहीं क्यों मेरी दीप पर आप पूरा इधर से
तो फिर आपने मुझे बताया तो फिर मैंने आपको बताई आपने कहा कि इसमें हम कुछ ऐसा करें कि ये ना
हाँ
है ना
हाँ
इस हाथ में वो धागा सा या
इसमें कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं इसके 8 दिन बाद फिर इस हाथ का ऑपरेशन हुआ इस हाथ का ऑपरेशन होने के बाद ना वो परेशानी इसमें नहीं है जो इसमें आई वो धागा सा लाइनिंग कुछ नहीं क्लियर
So you can have a prophylactically also done in one eye where patient has not benefited, but has been suffering from negative photopsia in the other eye. And a final video. So finally a smile that reaches their eyes. So don't ignore, don't surrender. Conquer the problem. Thank you.